Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Demonosophy and Beyond, the place where magic is explored and discussed as in-depth as I can possibly take it. I'm your host, Greg Bryant, advocate of infernals and seeker of the strange. Tonight we're going to talk about demons, the history behind the word, why they have such a bad rap, what they are really, and why you may want to work with them. So if you're tired of splashing around in a shallow kiddie pool of knowledge, let's get ocean deep on tonight's topic. So what is a demon? Media such as movies like The Exorcist or shows like Supernatural often portray demons as evil, or at the very least, chaotic spirits with an animosity towards humanity. In church, they are depicted as adversaries of the Abrahamic God and the reason behind all the world's problems. But is this really the case? Aside from the evil spirit definition, Merriam-Webster calls a demon an attendant, a genius, an intermediate between God and human, one that has exceptional effectiveness. Note that none of these have negative connotations. The word demon is derived from the Greek word daemon. To get a better understanding, let's go back to the root. Let's go back in time. Find out the history behind this word. According to Britannica.com, the term daemon was interchangeably used for the word theos, which means God. If you look into the history of some mainstream demons, you will in fact see that they were at one time treated as such. The Catholic Encyclopedia at newadvent.org points out that most demons, or daemons, were considered divine and comparable to angels in Christianity. They were also considered guardians and guides. However, the term could also be applied to malignant spirits as well. These were called cacodemons, while good spirits were referred to as eudaimons. Eudaimons. So, when and how did good demons get lumped in with the bad? No source can say for sure, but most of them agree it probably stemmed from inaccurate translation of the Bible from Hebrew and Aramaic and Greek into Latin and later on Old English. Other sources speculate that due to the persecution from the Roman Empire, early Christians were inclined to vilify the contemporary beliefs of the time, and this has carried over to modern Christianity. So what are demons really? Demon is an umbrella term that can be applied to any spirit really. I personally believe many are thought forms that have grown in power and gained sentience over the years. However, I also believe that a good deal of them existed before mankind and have been interacting with humanity since our beginning. From my experience, demons I've encountered come off as highly intelligent beings that can be inquisitive about humanity. Some are serious, while others have a sense of humor. Some like to play tricks, while others are no nonsense. Many of them are sympathetic to and supportive of those who show them respect, even to the point of showing loyalty, giving practitioners familial titles, and being extremely protective. These beings have wants and desires. Whether they need what they ask for is unclear, but they may ask for certain foods, drinks, or objects. Some, like the succubi or incubi, may be sexually preoccupied, while others may seek you out purely for the company. Demons vary as much in personality as much as humans do, if not more so. And just like with humans, there will be some who you get along with fabulously. It's like you have chemistry. And others you'll want to keep a distance from. So why would anybody want to work with demons? Most people would never consider working with demons, since they believe them to be enemies of humanity. But that couldn't be further from the truth. A great many of these spirits are benevolent and interested in seeing mankind reach its potential on many levels. So what are the benefits of working with demons? Personally, I think they help you improve the most in the mental, emotional, and spiritual departments, which can lead to a better physical experience as well. Prior to learning how to properly interact with demons, I was always anxious. I would constantly second guess myself because I had no faith in my abilities. I was depressed to the point of causing self-harm. I was prone to letting toxic people into my life, and I had no real ambition. I was susceptible to following others no matter how idiotic they were. There were moments I gave into alcoholism despite seeing how it had an adverse effect on different members of my family. In short, I was a self-destructive loser. I harbored a deep, debilitating hatred for humanity, including myself. And by debilitating, I mean I would have to lock myself in a room, go to sleep, and hope the hatred would go away, because it would hit me without warning, and I just could not interact with anybody once it did so. After learning to contact demons in a non-threatening manner, and by non-threatening, I mean not calling upon divine names or angels in order to constrain them, I began to rebuild myself from the ground up. Under the tutelage of various spirits, I became more aware and analytical of the world around me. I began cutting off toxic associations and forming bonds with humans that were positive and upbuilding. I stopped desiring self-destruction and chose to strive for enlightenment and a healthier lifestyle. Gaining useless material possessions stopped appealing to me. Instead of being easily influenced by the nonsense surrounding me, I became more of an influence. And as an example, I used to work at this hospital, and most of the people working there were super duper Christians that were superstitious. I worked with a lot of people from Africa, and so they were very superstitious. And although I didn't tell them exactly what I did, they kind of like had an inkling that I worked with demons. And they used to always tease me and tell me, oh, you act like you're possessed, and make fun of my beliefs and things like that. But I stood my ground. I basically told them, to mind their business, basically to F off most of the time. And eventually they began to see that I was consistent with my work. I really cared about what I did. A few of them came to like me as a person, and the teasing stopped, and a few of them started asking me, genuinely having a curiosity about my beliefs. And so I took that as a win. And then I started to just have people gravitate toward me who wanted to know more about demons. And they would say stuff to me like, you're level-headed and you're not crazy like some people are, or delusional. And they would want to know about my experiences with demons. So in that sense, my interactions with humans improved in quality. Instead of harboring hatred for people, I began seeking out others who were open-minded enough to share my experiences with. And like I said, they started gravitating toward me anyway. And it helped to restore my faith in humanity somewhat. By somewhat, I mean there's still people who are super duper ignorant, and they will judge you off the fact that you work with demons. Even in the pagan community, it seems that people have a stigma against the demonic. I had a lady who, she came up to me, and she was attending a gathering that was, monthly. And so I had seen her around many times. And she told me that when she heard that I worked with demons, she kind of hesitated to be around me. But by seeing how I interacted with people and how I spoke and how I acted, she decided to get to know me and got over the fact that I worked with demons. So, overall, my life isn't perfect, but the quality of it has improved exponentially because of my interactions with these spirits. I don't know any other demonosophers, per se, but I do know others that work with demons. So I wanted to ask what their interactions were like and what kind of benefits they received. At the time of my little interview, a good associate of mine named Elizabeth mentioned that she had been working with a specific demon for 5 years. And I find this interesting because a lot of Christians will claim that a demon will initially be nice to you and then it'll attack you once your guard is down. And I'm sure within the span of 5 years, if it wanted to, it had plenty of opportunities to turn on her. And the same can be applied to me. I've been working with demons for a number of years. They've been talking to me, they've been working with me, and I've gotten to trust some of them, and I still don't go through anything negative. So I don't know what they're talking about. And most of these people who do say these things have never ever sought out demons to interact with them, so they wouldn't know. Anyway, when I asked her what the demon was like, she said he was jovial, very sexual, protective, he liked wine, and helped her with her business. I also asked if he ever suggested that she do something dangerous or illegal, and she said no. Many people, they blame their actions, their so-called evil actions, on demons. They say, oh, the devil made me do it, and they try to claim insanity and whatnot. But people that I've met who are mature and they work demon magic and they work with demons, they take responsibility for the things that they do. They say, this is what I wanted to do. If it had negative consequences, they accept that. And if they do choose to do something harmful to another person, it's usually because that person did something harmful to them first. Or they'll just say, hey, I don't like this person. I don't like what they've done. It may not be to them. And so they'll say, hey, I curse this person or whatnot. But I've never heard of anybody that I know of that works with demons tell me that a demon told them to do something that was messed up. The next person that was gracious enough to tell me about how they benefited from interacting with demons was VK Johanam. And for those of you not familiar with him, he's a practitioner that makes informational videos about magic and various entities on YouTube. I put a link to his current channel in the episode description, so be sure to check that out when you get the chance. But to get back to the subject, VK told me that the demons taught him how to be more discerning with his use of magic. They aided him in helping his friends with their problems and, wait for it, helped him to stop being prejudiced towards black people. These are his words. Apparently, Black Lives Matter to them. Who knew? He didn't say that, but apparently Black Lives Matter to them. So, a question I'd like to pose to you, the listener, is if you had the same experiences as I have, talk to some people and learned about the history surrounding the word demon, would you consider them evil? If you enjoy the subject matter of this podcast and would like to help keep it going, be sure to hit the support button and donate. Not only does it show your love, it also helps me further my research into magic so I can discuss my experiences with you so that we may both grow. So, that's all I have to say about demons for now. I plan on going more into specific types of demons, but I will do that later because it's such a broad topic, and I can just keep going on and on about my experiences or the things that I've read in books or the different books that are out there. If you are interested in maybe finding out more about practicing magic with demons, I would recommend the works of S. Connolly, because she's very straightforward about what the lifestyle is like and how to work with them. But her work is also written in a way where it's very simple to understand, and it's not hard to do. By the way, I am not paid to talk about anybody's YouTube channel or, their literary works. I just want to get the information out there so that people can learn, gain knowledge, improve upon their lives, and share that knowledge with somebody else. So, I'll talk with you guys later, and I hope that you have a good, productive night and day, life, whatever. And yeah, see ya.